Hey there guys, this is Malorian, and this will be a couple of battle reports with my Cygnar, and that's, my last set of videos I put out here were of my last steamroller, and you know what, I played so garbagey there. It was horrendous. I made so many mistakes, I played like an idiot, and I got destroyed. And I just can't be playing like that, but luckily I had a birthday. Yeah, it was my birthday and I had some friends over. We did a 4-man scramble. So basically, just have 4 guys over, 2 play on one table, 2 play on the other, and then the winner table goes on after that. So my goal here was to really take, lick my wounds, regroup, and really come back at this trying to play at that higher level. And so part of that is, okay, no more just taking a net list and trying to make that work. No more kind of trying to push a jank. Let's take something that I know works. So for me, that's going to be this eCaine 2 list. Now, a little bit fuzzy here, but really, this is a horde. So I played a lot of eCaine 2, but this one here is one where it's a jammy eCaine 2, comes at you, lots of guys, and then meanwhile, while you're trying not to get jammed out of the zone, eCaine is looking for that assassination. So a very good list, something that's a little bit unique to me. I mean, I don't really see anyone else playing eCaine like this, and should be interesting. I did have a second list as well, but I'm just going to tell you right now, I dropped eCaine each time. Alright, and my first opponent here is going to be eMadrak. This is the same one that I recently actually lost to, where he had the Mountain King, and now he's dropped the Mountain King for a Mullig and a Mauler, which seems like a good idea, and hopefully they can get some revenge. Alright, so the scenario here does have a death clock. You get 1 for controlling the zone, 2 for dominating, and you can't do that to destroy the enemy objective. That also gives you 1. Mine is the one that gives you cover and is also makes things fearless. It's the effigy of valor. Meanwhile, my opponent took fuel. Okay, for my list, I'm running eCaine, who is running Old Rowdy and also a Squire. I have 2 units of gun mages. I have Reinhold, I have Gorman, I have Rupert, I have Alexia and Arisen, 2 units of Rangers, and 2 units of Pressgangers. Like I said, it just runs up there, jams you up, and the cool thing is I can still just shoot through this or over it with eCaine. I mean, really, you'd think like, oh man, if something gets engaged, how are you going to shoot it? Well, I mean, eCaine, when he aims and is being marked with the Rangers there, he's freaking Mat 13, or Rat 13 rather, so he can shoot those things even if engaged. Meanwhile, on the other side, what my opponent is running is going to be an Axer, a Mauler, and Mulg. There's also going to be the Warders. There's also going to be the, what do you call them? The Fenblades with UA. There's also going to be the Creelstone and with the Room Bearer, and I think the Chronicler. There's a Fell Collar. All that troll stuff. But the big deal is Madrak. Have to be careful about that guy. Definitely, this matchup here is an interesting one because his feat is basically everyone does a Thresher, so he can kill a lot of models really quick. So what I'm going to need to do is shoot that stuff down. So luckily, I have actually quite a few shots in this list, and should work out pretty good. Alright, so I won first turn, and I'm basically just rushing on up. I am giving a little bit extra room. Like I said, he can just run up and pop feet, so I gotta give a little bit of respect here, staying a little bit farther back than I normally do, and especially with the Rangers, right? Those are some of those initial shots that I really want to get off. Now, meanwhile, one of my normal tricks when I do this horde is to put Blur onto one of the units of Pressgangers. However, he really has no range options whatsoever, so I'm not needing to worry about any upkeeps or anything. I really just go up and then gate crash further up to really be in a very threatening position. You can see I'm right up there. I'm already in the zone with eCaine and ready to be up there and cause some trouble. One of the nice things about this list is that I can just shoot over everything. Because the trolls are on a medium base, eCaine can just shoot through the entire horde and shoot whatever he wants. So it's really nice. And like I said, I really have to worry about the warders and keeping them back. I might have to use Old Rowdy to deal with them, but we'll take it as it comes. Alright, so his turn, he's really rushing on forward. He does one of the things that I love to see, and that's the warders go to the wall. Otherwise, you get some of the Fen Blades into the zone. He has this interesting thing where he has Mulg and the Mauler right behind, and that's looking about in range for Gorman, so I'm liking the look at that. Otherwise, he puts a whole bunch of focus into the stone like you'd expect. No spells, nothing is really going up right now, and so this is where the shooting gallery is going to begin. One thing I'm going to need to make sure that happens to know that I'm safe is that whole black oiling of Mulg and the Mauler, and if that's good, well, then I can just pew, 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 pew for days. So that's really what I do. I move up a couple of Rangers first to take some shots. I really want to clear out the Fen Blades. With their reach, they can really do a lot of damage, so they were going to be a big priority this turn to just wipe out. So they go up, they do their shooting, do some pretty good stuff. Then that allows Gorman to go up and get range. He is going to blind both those models, so that's awesome. Mulg and the Mauler both blind, and then once that happened, it was shoot time. So I'm going here, and eCaine just started shooting up everything he could. The gun mages shooting up everything they could, and really then after I was done shooting him up, then I have one unit of press gangers that swings around to go and jam where the warders are, and just again, like I just get to use the wall to my advantage now, and then the other one goes up to kind of block them there. And again, I'm trying to stagger them a bit because of how his feet work. So I feel like I'm in a fantastic position. Last time Rupert gave Alexia the Pathfinder so they could go through that forest. Now they got tough, and yeah, I'm feeling really good of the situation I'm in. So on his turn, he is going to pop his feet. The warders, they're needing freaking 8s to hit me, but he rolls a lot of them. So with popping the feet early there with eMadrak, he was able to clear things away there so that he could get one warder into the zone and then also tie up all the gun mages on the left and so forth. That opening, I mean, Mulg just killed the guys that are around him. I'm fine with that. He stayed where he was. That allowed the Axer to run and get right into the middle of my force. So that's not good. But hopefully that guy's going to die. Otherwise, things just really, I mean, eMadrak did a bunch of killing this turn. Then everything that goes around him with the whole Stone Bears. And I still really like this situation. I mean, he's so bogged together. Now Gorman can aim. And if I hit Mulg, yeah, I can be now getting him and the Mauler again. Or I like this one where I can shoot that Fell Caller and get the Fell Caller and eMadrak in Mulg, and that would be awesome. Clearly, I had to deal with the Axer first, but I have a couple of options there. First, I could go around with Rowdy and kill him first. I could feat and try and kill him first with eCaine, or I could just do my gun mages to push him away, and I think that's going to be the idea. Yeah, otherwise, just keep on jamming. In this turn, I think I'll actually start getting some scenario points, because I only have to deal with 2 models. So the biggest problem I had in this turn is I mean, I got some souls last time, some corpses, so I brought up some more risen, and I put, you know, them around where I need them to fill up with the wall on the left. Gorman does his aiming thing. Okay, actually, no, that's a lie. First, the gun mages go, and they push the Axer back. So that's great. He's gone, and he's moved away from Gorman. Gorman now aims, so he's rat 7, needing to roll a 5, and I miss. And the way it scatters is that it blinds the Axer and the Fell Caller and eMadrak, but it does not, I don't think, no, actually, eMadrak I don't think was blind this turn. I think that's a lie. Anyway, Mulg is not blind, and that's really, really bad. So what I decided to do instead is, I mean, I have no other focus up onto Old Rowdy. Otherwise, the gun mages got a crit push on the one warder that was in the zone, so he's now out of the zone and knocked down. That's fantastic. The gun mages over there just really kind of moved around to try and trap them out of the zone. eCaine is going to be popping his feet. He is going to be killing the Axer and the objective, or trying to. I left it on a couple, and then after trying to shoot it with a couple of things, the press gangers had to finish it off. But Old Rowdy goes into the Mountain King. Free charges are awesome, and so I do a little bit of damage there, just starting things off. Really forcing Mulg to kind of deal with me and not get very much into the zone, hopefully, and not really threaten me. And, yeah, you know, otherwise, I'm going to be getting 2 points this turn because I destroyed the objective and I controlled. I'd be a lot happier right now if Mulg was blind, but yeah, it's going okay. So on his turn, he realizes that scenario is kind of a problem. He gets the Mauler into the zone there and puts guys behind him, so it'll be hard to push him out. He really messes up Rowdy with Mulg. Now, Mulg was not able to get into the zone, I believe, just because the model's in the way. All that Rowdy has left was his Cortex and his right arm, so like I said, really messed up. Otherwise, the Warders doing their best to try and beat guys they can, but you know, it's hard to hit over the wall. I'm making some toughs and stuff, so the Warders aren't really doing much. eMadrak, again, has to do a little bit of work to kill things so he can get into the zone, and so he's here in the zone, but it still isn't that bad. What I can do here is just use eCaine, shoot away all the guys that are part of the Stone Bears, and then once that's done, I can push out the Mauler, jam them. I can even dominate if I want. Again, blind will be very important, and actually this is the turn I was talking about where I can line up Mulg and eMadrak, and that'd just be awesome. So that's what I do. I put a Risen right there between them, so I can then aim, shoot at the Risen, and hit him, and blind eMadrak and the Mauler. Sorry, not the Mauler, Mulg. I did put some focus onto Rowdy. I think that was actually kind of a waste. He tried doing some damage to Mulg, and he did do some, but again, it wasn't very much. It was kind of a waste of focus. Should have taken some more shots. But either way, I wiped out all of the Stone Bears. Pretty much all the normal infantry is dead now if they're not a warder, so that's a lot of trouble for him. Otherwise, the gun mages that are now able to push the Mauler out of the zone, and then jam, 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 jam. Everything gets in there, everything gets in the way. I'm just blocking everything out, and at this point here now, it's going to be 3 points to 0. And so that really puts the pressure mega on him, because now, if any time I go and I can clear out the zone again, eCaine just needs to go in there, dominate, and it's game over. So he kills a lot. Like, if you can see here, there's a big difference from last picture there. And so really Mulg is able to finish off the old Rowdy, which is, I mean, he had like 2 boxes. Warders don't really do much at all. The Mauler actually tramples and really kicks a lot of butt. I can't remember what it has on it, but yeah, it just killed a whole bunch of things, trampling to where it got to there, right in my face. Then he starts going with eMadrak, and he does his thing and kills. And it's near the end that we realize, oh yeah, he was blind. So he is a really high mat, and he was rolling kind of high for a lot of them. So what we decided to do is we decided to drop 2 of his Fury. He was going to camp 3, but we took off 2 of those. That was the idea of my opponents, and I thought it was fair. And so now looking at this, I really have 2 options. I could either go for assassination, or I could go for scenario. Now, if he was camping 3, I'd be going for scenario. The gun mages would go behind the Mauler, just walk behind him, and then push right out of the zone. Now that eMadrak is there on 1, I think that assassination is easy. So I do that. I thought that actually I could kind of like do both, you know, start shooting eMadrak, and if things went wrong, then just go for a scenario. And then I forgot about protective fit, so Mulg comes into the zone. I use my remaining press gangers to try and trap him, and then after that, do a little bit more shots against eMadrak, a little picking away, and then finally it's Alexia who charges in, and after spending, I don't know, 10 Risen or something, eMadrak goes down. So I get a win in the first game, and this one felt really good. You know, back in the saddle, this list did exactly what it was supposed to. I felt very in control the whole game, and man, it's good to be back with eCaine, because that guy's just cool. Alright, so now on to the second game, and it's now going to be up against eKrueger 2. Now, that's usually a problem for eCaine, but again, if you're jamming, I'm getting right in there, so I think it'll be alright. We're on the same table. It worked out that I'm going to be on the same side. Or sorry, I'm now on the opposite side. So now we're playing the same game, but I'm just over here. And I was fine with that. He actually got the pick sides, and he wanted that forest. I think it was more so that eCaine could go inside the forest there and be able to block line of sight. I mean, for me, I love the fact that I have this wall for eCaine. So this all works out great for me. Clearly, I have the same list. For him, though, he is running, of course, eKrueger 2 with 2 Stalkers, a Gorax, and also a Rotterhorn. There's 2 sets of stones, 1 with UA. There's 2 gallows groves. You're not going to see them. There's going to be some druids. There's going to be 2 black clads. I believe there's a wilder as well, plus those chicks on the left. And yeah, kind of an interesting mix. And just going here, just kind of show you that, oh yeah, I forgot to put down the druids, but that's not really a big deal. Alright, so I get first turn, and now this is where putting out that spell will matter. So when I'm going up, that's why I leave the 1 press ganger a little bit further back, so I can put blur onto him. And that's, I mean, that really pushes these press gangers into the next level. I mean, it's one thing to be defense 13 and tough and AD and speeding up there, but when you're defense 16 against shooting and magic, man, is it a real pain to try and take these guys down. So really what I'm trying to do is just get up the board. I'm going to try and take out whatever pieces I can. Of course, eCaine puts True Shot on himself because all that to deal with. I put Tough onto the Risen, and I'm waiting to see what he offers to me. On his turn, he gets a little bit of work done, more so on the left side. That's arcing a spell through with eCaine 2, where it does this little lightning thing. So that kills a couple of guys. It really means I get a couple of corpses. The druids didn't really get much done. They just put up a bunch of clouds to kind of block some line of sight, and that's really it. You can see that the chicks there are really flanking hard on the left, and that means I can kind of ignore them for a turn. So what I'm going to do here is I want to kill both of his gallows groves, and I want to kill both of his black clads. That's the #1 thing. Past that, if I can kill some druids, fantastic. I want to get in there, and I want to try and tie him down. As well, the rangers, their jobs are to walk up and try and destroy stones, because if they can destroy a stone, that really shuts down his teleports. Now, if he wants to teleport in and kill stuff, I'm going to be okay with that, because I'm going to have Rowdy and Gorman waiting for that. So that's what I do. I get right up in there. I am able to kill off both gallows groves, because I go up there, I get an extra bullet with eCaine and shoot, and teleport back. So he is down both the black clads, he is down both the groves. I killed, 2 or 3 of the druids, so that's not too bad. I was also able to kill one of the stones on the right, so that's awesome. That's one of the ones down, so only one of those stalkers can go crazy. Otherwise, you can see I kind of kept back my gun mages on the left, because they were waiting for those chicks to run around. And yeah, Alexia's there to pick up all my dead. So on his turn, he's going to actually kill quite a bit. He is going to be coming over here with a teleported stalker. This is also going to be his feet turn, by the way, too, if I don't mention it later. But the stalker is going to come across and kill a bunch of things and sprint away. So quite a bit of things lost there, but it was mainly just risen. So not that big of a deal. Lost some press gangers, so that's kind of, they'll be risen, so that's okay. And otherwise, yeah, after he's done killing his stuff, he goes and pushes me away with the feet, and I end up like it is here. You can see all the chicks are down there at the bottom, and this is the situation. Also, he killed a few more guys, the other stalker just walking up and killing some more stuff there. So that stalker is also in the zone, both heavies. So really, the idea of probably clearing out the zone is pretty much impossible. The set of stones that I destroyed, that's the one, the UA, they teleport in the zone just again to contest. And so what I'm going to do here is really just go for attrition. Now, what I really want to do here is I want to try to blind the stalker on the top if I can, and I want to destroy the stalker on the left. If that's done, I'm looking pretty happy. Rowdy can be in a good spot for later. The chicks on the left, if I do 1 Arcane Inferno, they're so bulked together that that's going to kill most of them. And again, just attrition, trying to keep them back. I know that Rotterhorn is going to make some trouble for me, so if I can take out the Rotterhorn too, that'd be great. But more so, the stalkers are the biggest deal right now. Another big thing I want to show here too is that while I'm doing this, I'm also looking at time. That's the thing, is when you're trying to deal with these big, huge spams of infantry and have to worry about a eCaine 2 assassination, it takes some time. He's been doing Stormwall and the usual things, but winning by Death Clock is also looking like an option here. So anyway, on my turn, eCaine 2 goes up and he does his feat after getting extra bullets and all that stuff. I am able to kill the left stalker and severely damage the top stalker. So happy news for me there. I did not figure I could get Gorman where I needed him, so instead he just comes over here in clouds to keep me safe since I am kind of out there in the open. The Arcane Inferno does awesome, kills 4 of them, and the other 2 fail their panic, so happy news there. Otherwise, my Rangers keep on shooting away, destroying stones and stuff like that. So no more teleports for him. I think I kill another Druid. Really, because of all the press gangers he killed, I have a bajillion Risen. So the Risen are just really everywhere. The whole point of the Risen is just to slow him down. They have tough again because of Rupert. Keep them away from Kane. And yeah, just try and wait it out. So on his turn, he really tried to get his Stalker to Kane. He went with it, he primaled it, and the idea was that it was supposed to trample right in that little zone around Kane. Unfortunately, there was not enough room for a large base. I was careful enough, so he could only go where you see him there. Killed a good amount of guys, but again, he had to take a lot of focus to do that, because you can be primaled all you want, I still can make my tough tests. So toughs really kind of ruined his day here. Chicks on the left fail the rally again. On the right, the Rotterhorn goes up and screams twice and kills quite a few guys. So, yay, more corpses. Except that one of the things that the Stalker was able to do was to kill Alexia. So much for all the corpses. That's going to be it for now, whatever you see here. Otherwise, he tries killing a few more guys around him up there, trying and clean some things out. But then again, he is really low on time, and now I should have an easy time of finishing off the Stalker and the Rotterhorn. So that's what I do. I am able to trample over with Rowdy, and he's able to kill the Stalker, so good news there. I really tried to kill the Rotterhorn too, but I just could not do it. Rolls just were not going the way I was hoping, and bad news. To help make sure that the Stalker went down, I blinded it first, but that doesn't really matter. And to be honest, a lot of other things in my army did nothing this turn, because around this time I drank about 2/3 a bottle of Sambuca and had about 2 more tall beers. So at this point I was a little bit tipsy and just want to kind of wait her out. So on his turn, he does his best to get to me. The Rotterhorn kind of comes over and screams and actually does some really good damage to Kane. I think the scream did like 7 damage right there. Then in comes eKrueger to try and finish me off, and Kruger's in some trouble because either he can walk up and get to a spot where he's engaging me, Rowdy that is, and then he can't shoot because he's engaging, or he can move farther away and then I countercharge. So once we got to this point, and the fact that he was less than a minute on the clock, we just shake hands, and that's the game. So, another win, and I am feeling great, guys. This is exactly what I needed after the huge defeat in the last tournament there. My feelings were a little bit low. I was a little bit hurt. I was a little bit depressed. This is exactly what I needed. Getting back to the list I love to play. I love the Swarm. I love Kane 2. I love this list. And yeah, they did great here. Maybe I have to look into seeing if maybe I play better if I drink too. I'm sure a lot of people hope that, but hey, you never know. Maybe that could have been part of it. But either way, hopefully you guys like watching this, and we'll catch you later. Bye.